What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. You see the thumbnail, so you know exactly why you're here. I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media, so we have a variety of things to talk about today. What else is going on? Please hit the like, subscribe, and your notification bell. That is how others find me. Follow me on IG at DYANAROZAY. Follow me on Facebook. That is a private group, and it's called DYANAROZAY Real Talk. Okay. What else do I need to tell you guys? That's basically it. I appreciate every single one of you for rocking with me. So let's get started. We got a juicy story. We're going to start with the first one, which is Nene Leakes. The picture is just a little bit out of focus, but that is Nene Leakes holding the red cup, and you can't see his face, but that bearded man is Carlos King. You guys, these two have sat down to do an interview on the recent going-ons with Nene Leakes' son, Bryson. And I'm going to play a little bit of the interview. However, it doesn't actually play until tomorrow. But she said some really interesting things here that I always love Nene Leakes' interview because every time she sits down and talk, she is completely honest. She is completely honest, especially about motherhood, what it is like to be a widow, like all of those things. I believe everything that she says. It's honest to me. So anywho, let's play this little clip. I might stop it in between just because there's some parts that really stood out for me, and just to explain some things. But check this out, and y'all let me know what y'all think.
Sin was recently in the news.
Yes.
With alleged things of fentanyl,
Yeah.
alleging that he got caught by the cops and said his name was Brent Leakes. How is Bryson doing?
I spoke to him on the phone. I think he's doing okay. He needs rehabilitation. He needs a lot of counseling. Like many families out there, I have family members that are struggling with drugs and certain addictions. And he has an addiction. He's been struggling with it for years. He's been in rehab for a couple times, and he still have come back out and relapsed. As a mom,
So that part right there, I had no idea that he had been in rehab a couple of times and relapsed. Like I didn't realize how serious it was. Her admitting that it is a serious addiction actually took me by surprise. So I don't know if everybody feels that way, but it took me by surprise when she said that. But let me play the rest. Hold on.
it's not much that I can do. For people who have had children or family members that have been on drugs, they know that they have to be ready. They have to simply be ready. I've spent so much money on trying to get Bryson, where he needs to be, but every time I've sent him off is because I said, you are giving your ass up and we are sending you off. But I learned through counseling myself that he has to say, I'm ready to go, not me making him go. So until Bryson is ready to make a change, it's nothing I could do.
Okay, and even with that part, the fact that she is willing to say right now, this is in the public eye, and I have to speak about it, and saying at the end of the day, Bryson has to be the one to make the choice because people were attacking her big time. Like, why are you letting him, move forward with a public defender? Why aren't you, throwing money at this and making it okay? And now she is letting people know there's nothing more I can do. I thought I was helping him, but I wasn't. Until he's ready, there's nothing I can do.
As a mother, I would never wash my hands of my child, right? But I'm kind of numb to it because it's been happening for so many years. I'm just really kind of numb to the situation.
Obviously, your children were brought up on reality television, being famous because their mom is famous.
Yes.
Do you think Bryson being famous and dealing with being on television, all those things, affected his ability to be the adult you wanted him to be? Did it contribute to the drug usage and those things?
I don't have to say I don't think it helped. but I wouldn't say this the sole cause of it. It certainly didn't help because we started on television when Bryson was like in the 11th or 12th grade, and Brent was in 3rd grade, and so they're having to be in a light shine on them that they did not ask for. People are picking them apart because of the job that I chose to do, and so I feel for them in that way. But there's just issues that he has, and I don't know addiction because I don't have an addiction. You know, I just know from what people have said to me. But Lamar Odom also called me and said,
so this is also interesting. She's letting us know that Lamar Odom has taken interest in Bryson.
And he would grab Bryce right away and send him to his place. He has a rehabilitation place somewhere.
Hey, Raindrops, Mike.
Okay, so anywho, I wanted to know what you guys thought about that. I wanted to know what you guys thought about that because when a person is numb to, when you're someone you love, I know people like to put a lot of harsh words out there, but when it's someone you love and you have the resources to get them help, and you throw as much money at it as you can, because y'all remember the very first time we saw this whole situation go down, it was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think he got caught stealing razor blades or something like that, from Target or Walmart, some crazy little store. And I remember her being like really embarrassed, but also saying, what is going on with you? Because there isn't anything that you can't have. Like if you wanted something, especially razor blades, I would have been able to do that for you. Like, why would you do this? And then I guess because again, this person is struggling, his mom is struggling, she brought him into the world, and now you have to go to sleep at night realizing I might not be able to give him the help he needs. He may never ask for the help he needs. And the Bryson I used to know, I may never see again. Like that is a lot to contend with. But y'all talk to me in the comments and let me know what you guys think about all of that. Okay. Again, that was just a little excerpt from the interview. The full interview, I believe, drops tomorrow on CK's YouTube channel. Okay. So let's talk about the next thing because I was talking about Nene Leakes. This is Bethany Frankel and Andy Cohen. If y'all don't know, Bethany Frankel has declared war against Andy Cohen and Bravo. She is basically saying right now there is a whole strike going on in Hollywood because people aren't getting paid residuals. They're getting paid peanuts, doing a movie here and there and working at the supermarket. This shouldn't be like this. There are people who are eating off of them. There are people who are living at the top 10% of wealth because of actors and actresses. Why aren't we also, or excuse me, this is the actual the protest that's going on. But Bethany Frankel is saying there was a whole boom that came about because of the first strike, the first actor strike, the first writer strike. There was a whole boom of reality TV that came about. And she was like, we don't want a second boom. There should be people right now protesting against reality TV. Now, I found this interesting because of a couple of reasons. Number one, Nene Leakes, when she was on the show, when she said, I finally made the decision, I can't do this anymore. She had came out and said that she attempted to get all of the ladies on the cast to put their foot down for their show, saying, listen, because of RHOA, we've put every other show on the map and we need to fight for our rights here. We need health insurance. We should be getting, residual income from the shows that came before. Like there's a lot of things that we aren't getting. And there was a few people that crossed the picket line. I'm not going to say who, because I don't want to cause any problems, but there was people, Candy Burris is who I heard cross the picket line. Okay. She was one of the people. She was the first. And then people started posting their text messages showing that they had a conversation. And Candy said, well, I'm going to pull out. You guys can go and ask for such and such. I spoke to them on my own. And this is what I was able to get resolved. But Nene Leakes was like, I actually am in SAG. So Greg's, her deceased husband, she was like, I was able to get all of his medical bills paid through there. But there was a lot of people on that show, RHOA, and all of Bravo platform that don't get paid the way they should be paid, considering that these shows continue to stream. I continue to enjoy them. They're great shows. I continue to put clips up, and we all, will share, different little clips of things. And Bethany's like, listen, I'm rich. I don't have to ever worry about going back to that show. But Andy Cohen is to blame for not paying us residual income after making the Bravo platform billions of dollars and after making him a multimillionaire. So a few people she named was Nene Leakes. She said them airing her husband's sickness and what happened after that, she was like, they basically exploited her. And I've always felt that way. I've always felt that way. I don't know if you guys remember this scene right here. There was a scene where Nene has all the girls over for dinner, and they're supposed to wear their natural hair. That was the theme of the dinner. They weren't supposed to come in with any type of weaves or extensions, things like that. And on this particular day, the day before, the day of the dinner, okay, the day before that dinner, Greg had called Marlo and said, can you come over to the house because Nene is having a hard time. She's breaking down. I can't help her. Can you come over and help me? And we find out later that, Greg was having a hard time. He declined. He denied radiation, I believe. He didn't want to move forward with radiation. And the doctors was like, we 100% want you to go through with this. And if you don't, the chances that your cancer could come back is, he gave him some percentage. And I kept saying, wow, because Nene was like, well, it's his decision. It's his decision. So I have to respect his decision. But I know that when you hear those words and you hear that somebody you love don't want to do everything they can to take care of themselves, to make sure that they can, move past this, the breakdown that has to happen within you. But she was playing it so cool until this dinner. When this dinner happened, I was like, oh, wow, we are watching the real-time effect of a woman who is having a breakdown at this table. I think there was a fight that happened. I think the cameraman was trying to go into her closet, and there was a whole bunch of stuff that went down in that episode. Y'all have to go back and watch it. But I know she had a breakdown. That's what it looked like to me. And the only person who was understanding and gave her grace was Marlo. Everybody else was like, oh my God, I was scared and you didn't have to do this, you didn't have to do that. And I don't think people understand how grief works until it happens to you, because everybody wants you to act a certain way, and she couldn't act that way. And even now when we're going to watch, because I'm going to watch it, this interview about her son, as collected as she appears, there has to be a whole storm, a whole thunderstorm that is going on inside of her. But I wanted to know what you guys thought about that. I wanted to know what you guys thought about Bethany basically saying that Andy Cohen single-handedly is the reason why no one gets residual income from, the old episodes of whatever reality show that they're on. And also, he really is, he sets the standard. So anybody else who has a reality show, they're probably going to do what Andy Cohen has done in the past. So I don't know what anybody else's contracts look like, but if you know Andy Cohen's contract, you're going to copy it, period. So I just wanted to know what y'all thought about that. Who else are we talking about? Let's talk about this one right here. This is Chris Samuels, and this is Charisse Jackson, I believe her last name is. Y'all, they appeared, someone took this picture and said that these two were on a date. Now, Charisse is wearing an off-the-shoulder shirt, trying to, I guess, look a little sexy for somebody. But Chris looks like he is really into a sandwich. Maybe that's a hamburger. He's not like focused on her in a date kind of way. And also, for those of you who followed Real Housewives of Potomac, you would have remembered that Chris, he wasn't very fond of Charisse Jackson because her and a friend of hers was trying to perpetuate a rumor that Monique was having an affair with her trainer and that their youngest baby, I don't remember his name, I think it's Chase, may have been the trainer's. Now, all of Chris's children look just like Chris and Monique. There's absolutely no denying it. But she was sitting at a table with the other housewives of Potomac, and they all were having this conversation. And it looks like Charisse was really into making sure that that came out the next season, at least, even if it wasn't true, let's drop it because this is what I know. Now I'm kind of curious now that Chris and Monique are going through divorce. And, you know, I would guess that Charisse is a declared enemy of Monique's. It feels like Chris might be getting some information to take to the court. I feel like Chris knew that people were going to be interested in taking pictures, and he is sitting outside so that everybody can see. And he is allowing that picture to be taken as a warning. That is what I'm getting because, sir, what Charisse did to Monique, she also did to you. So at this point, you would only be sitting with her because I saw a lot of people saying, well, maybe they're friends. They're not friends. They're not friends. Chris was going to bat for his wife when they had decided to quit that very season. On the reunion, they were like, we're not coming back ever. Okay. But at this point, it feels like he wants people to know that he is taking some notes and he will be in court fighting. Okay. This might not be, what is it called? A conscious uncoupling. Conscious uncoupling meaning we are going to make sure that the kids are okay. We're going to live apart for a little while until we know that we can go our separate ways. When divorce was filed, when that became public, Chris had actually unfollowed Monique. So even though I think I've seen them in a few pictures together with the children, in the aftermath of all this, there may be a declared war in that courtroom. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments too. Now let's talk about Common and Tiffany Haddish, y'all. There is a new report that came out today, I believe, where Tiffany Haddish once again is rehashing her breakup with Common. I personally would love for this woman to stop talking about this. They started dating in 2020. They broke up in 2021. It is 2023, and she still can't keep this man's name out of her mouth. Furthermore, why aren't you dating someone else? Common cannot have been the best you ever had. Okay. Common has dated at least 4 or 5 women since the breakup in 2021. They've only dated for a year, maybe less than a year. But the fact that Tiffany keeps bringing it up, I don't know if she just has a deep hatred for him, if she wants him to apologize for something, I'm not sure. But this time she's saying that Common broke up with her over the phone. Okay. What? Listen, Common is not known for being a good person to date, period. His name is Mud in a lot of streets. People do not like him. And he's even said, I actually went to I don't know if it was a book signing or something where he talked about his book. And I went thinking that I was going to have this, enlightened moment by something Common was talking about. I left there feeling like, is he this dumb? Like it didn't move me. So I don't know if it was maybe he was nervous on stage, but whatever these ladies are seeing in person, start running for the heels because Common does not have a good track record with dating. He even said that. He was like, I was married. I was a horrible husband. I was a horrible father. He's a horrible person. He acknowledges that. Can we all acknowledge it at this point? Yeah, Tiffany, I don't want to hear her talk about this man anymore. I want her to move on and get into somebody else. Because at this point, you're giving me, I didn't even know she was into men, to be honest, but date somebody and get over this one. Okay. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Now let's talk about this one right here. This is a mess of all mess. This is Drea Kelly, R. Kelly's ex-wife. And I'm not even sure if she wanted to divorce this man, but hold on. Let me see if I can find the audio for this real quick. Drea Kelly with her messy self did a live the other day. And I guess people were asking, why didn't you change your name? Now, she doesn't have to, but her reason not to was a little foolish. Let's hear it.
Hey, why don't you change your last name? Because I don't want to. Next. Hey,
name is Cheer, and it's my kid's name. Get out of here. Hey, sis. I really do eat. Do what? Okay. Change the name. You get off Instagram. How about that? Okay.
Okay. So anyways, just as lame as can be, anybody who shows up in a documentary about their ex-husband saying that they didn't know and how broken they are because of all the things that he was accused and found guilty for of doing to women, you need to be better. You need to be better because people are looking at you as a representative of the victims in some extent, to some extent, right? Your children have come out and said that they didn't have the best life with their father, and you've said some things about him. So I don't know. She should have a better way of explaining herself at this point with everything that has gone on and is still going on to this very day. I would expect her to be able to handle herself better, but she's just as sloppy as can be. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Drea. Should she change her name? Should she keep it? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Whew, let's talk about these two. Now, I told y'all in my last story about them that they have decided to drop their divorce, okay? They filed for divorce, both of them. And then the last I read, Kim had withdrawn her divorce filing, and Croy was thinking about it. As far as I know, Croy was thinking about it, but these two were going to get back together and try to figure things out because they were, at one point deeply in love and nobody thought they were going to get divorced. A lot of people thought that the whole thing was a hoax, that they were just doing certain shenanigans so that they can get put back on television and start getting their gambling money back together. And a lot of people were on Croy's side. Well, now, y'all, it has been reported today through TMZ. And TMZ, I know a lot of people are like, well, that's a rag or that's a gossip column. But a lot of real news come from TMZ. In fact, over the last couple of years, there hasn't been a lot that's been disputed that they've put out there. But now they're saying that someone who clearly they paid for information, who's supposed to be a friend or someone who has an inside track, is saying that these two are still having a hard time. And now it's because of the police videos that has been released. So those police cams where Croy was calling her a gambler and a horrible mother and, the reason for all of their finances falling apart. Kim had a body cam where she said that he's crazy, out of his mind, locked her out of the house. She was crying and acting a fool. Well, these two have saw the images of the other speaking badly about them. And I guess it's causing a lot more tension in the relationship that they're trying to mend, of all things. And then just, I believe yesterday, sometime last night, these two decided to go out to, I believe it's Chili's. Them and the twins went to Chili's to try to, squash those rumors that were out there. Clearly something's going on, of course. Things like that just don't happen and then go away. But now I'm guessing that maybe all of this leading up to the divorce may have been really real. But y'all can let me know what y'all think. If y'all think anything about Kim and Croy, I'm going to continue to talk about those two because as far as I'm concerned, they're a part of reality TV and we need to be talking about it. Anybody who destroys that much money should be talked about, okay? And then the last story for you guys is Miss Quad Webb. She lost her 3-year-old niece that she was taking care of at her home, I believe maybe two years ago. There was a story that came out that she had adopted a little girl. That little girl was actually her niece, and she made a comment about it. She said, I didn't adopt her, that she still very much has her mother, but the niece and the nephew, you guys, were actually living in her home. And anyway, unfortunately, that little girl who was 3 years old, just recently turned 3, she actually drowned in Quad's pool. So I just wanted to send my condolences to Quad because I'm sure that is really hard to know that a child lost their life at your home, especially a child that you know and love and was taken care of. And I'm sure that that mother also has experienced a lot of grief from that. But you guys, that ends all of my little stories for today. I will come back a little later with something else. Y'all let me know what y'all think about everything in the comments, okay? Like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit your notification bell, and I will check you all on the next one.